All right, let's get right into it. Ready to crunch some numbers?
Always.
Sweet. We are diving into Robinhood's third quarter 2024 earnings results.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
We've
definitely.
got presentations, press releases, monthly metrics.
A whole lot of data to sift through.
Yeah, so let's break it all down. What do you say?
Sounds good. What jumps out at you initially?
Well, right off the bat, Robinhood did pretty darn well this quarter.
Hmm.
There are some big milestones they hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like their strategy is really working.
I'd say so.
So let's start with revenue.
Uh-huh.
Robinhood pulled in a whopping $637 million.
Wow.
It was their second highest ever,
That's impressive.
and that's a 36% increase year over year.
That's a significant jump.
But here's the best part. They're not just bringing in the cash.
Oh,
They're actually turning a profit.
turning a profit. Nice.
$150 million in GAAP net income.
Meaning.
More money's coming in than going out. If you think back to Q3 2023,
Yeah.
they were reporting losses.
Oh, wow. So this turnaround
This is a pretty big deal.
definitely signifies a shift in their operational efficiency.
Yeah, and their CEO, Vlad Tenev,
Mm-hmm.
he talks about streamlining their product engine.
Right.
It looks like that's really paying off.
Yeah, you can see it.
And then with all this success comes a surge in users.
Yeah, makes sense.
They're up to 24.3 million funded customers.
Wow.
That's a whole million more than last year.
Huge growth.
And on top of that, investment accounts have climbed to 25.1 million.
And did their assets under custody increase too?
Yeah. Their AUC hit a record $152.2 billion.
Billions with a B.
That's all the money people have invested through Robinhood.
Wow. So to put that into perspective,
Yeah.
think about this. They had $10 billion in net deposits just this quarter.
Oh, wow.
People are pouring money into their Robinhood accounts.
At what rate?
Well, it's like an annual rate of 29%. And over the past year, they've brought in a massive $39 billion in net deposits.
Yeah. So that momentum is hard to ignore.
It really is.
No wonder Robinhood CFO Jason Warnick is pumped.
You're right.
They've already flown past their full-year revenue and EPS projections.
And it's only Q3.
It seems like attracting active traders is a big part of this growth.
Yeah, those are the people making frequent trades.
Yeah, and who want advanced tools.
Exactly.
So speaking of which, they have this new desktop platform, Robinhood Legend.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's custom built for high-volume traders.
With like advanced charting, real-time data.
Exactly. And they're not done yet. They're going to launch futures and index options soon.
Really?
Yeah, and they're saying they'll have some of the lowest contract fees in the industry.
They're really going after those active traders.
It seems like it, and the data really backs it up.
Hmm.
Their equity notional trading volumes are up 65% compared to last year.
Which basically means,
It measures the total value of all their stock trades and options contracts traded. That's another indicator of active trading.
yeah.
And that saw a jump too. It's up 47%.
Interesting.
So let's move on to Robinhood Gold.
Okay, their premium service.
Yeah, they have 2.2 million subscribers now.
Mm.
That's like 9% of all their funded customers.
So they're doing something right.
Yeah, it seems like they're really onto something.
What makes it so attractive?
Well, they offer 4.5% APY on uninvested cash in your account.
Okay, that's pretty good.
You get a 3% match on your IRA contributions,
Wow.
lower trading fees.
I'm listening.
And now they even have the Robinhood Gold Card.
What's that?
It gives you 3% cash back on purchases.
So it's a whole bundle of perks.
Yeah, it's a pretty attractive package.
Especially that 3% cashback. That's generous.
And it seems to be working because Gold subscribers,
Yeah.
on average, they have 7 times the AUC and double the net deposit growth rate
Compared to?
compared to the average Robinhood user.
So they're not just signing up, they're really using it.
Yeah, they're actively engaged and investing more.
It seems like they're attracting a more, shall we say, affluent customer.
Yeah, and that could be really good for their long-term profitability.
For sure. Long-term is key.
Speaking of long-term, let's talk about Robinhood Retirement.
All right. Their foray into retirement planning.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
They've racked up $11 billion in AUC across almost 1 million funded accounts.
And how long?
In a pretty short amount of time, it's impressive growth for a new product.
What do you think is driving that?
Well, that 3% IRA match is a game changer.
It is. It's the first in the industry.
Huge incentive for people to choose Robinhood for their retirement savings.
Definitely.
And they've already paid out $200 million in matches.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're serious about this.
So it's not just a trading app anymore.
Seems like they're becoming a complete financial hub.
Interesting.
helping people manage their money from daily spending to long-term investing.
Makes sense.
It's smart to diversify.
Yeah, cater to a wider range of needs.
All right, now let's look at their global ambitions.
Okay, going international.
They've been expanding in the UK.
What have they been doing there?
They've introduced stock lending and margin investing.
Yeah.
Get this, they're planning to launch options trading in the UK in 2025.
Wow, so they're really committed to international growth?
Seems like it. So let's look at their financials now.
Okay, the nitty-gritty.
Their total operating expenses actually decreased year over year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they came in at $486 million.
So they're cutting costs.
Well, it's partly due to lower regulatory accruals.
Makes sense.
But still, it shows they're keeping an eye on their spending.
Right, being fiscally responsible.
However, their adjusted operating expenses, which don't include certain costs, those actually increased by 12%.
Why is that?
Well, they say it's because of investments in marketing and growth initiatives.
Ah, so reinvesting for future growth.
And these seems to be paying off.
Right.
They've also been buying back their own shares,
Oh, really?
spending $97 million in Q3 alone.
Wow.
It's part of their $1 billion share repurchase program.
What does that tell us?
It often signals confidence in their future,
Confidence in their future.
and it can increase the value of their stock.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, here's something interesting.
What is it?
Robinhood had $27 million in contra revenue this quarter.
Contra revenue? What's that all about?
It's related to their customer matches.
Oh, you mean like when they give you a bonus?
Yeah, when you transfer or deposit money into Robinhood.
Right.
Apparently, they've given out almost $280 million in matches since they started it.
Really?
And it's brought in about $16 billion in assets.
Wow, that's a pretty effective tactic.
It's a clever way to incentivize growth.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're planning to phase out the 1% deposit boost for Gold members by November.
So maybe fine-tuning their incentives a bit.
Yeah, focusing on features that really resonate.
It seems like they're always experimenting and adapting.
Yeah, always looking for the most effective strategies.
That's a good approach.
So we've covered a lot, from their record revenue to their global expansion.
A lot of ground covered, for sure.
But what does all this mean for the average investor?
That is the question, isn't it?
Why should they care about what's happening at Robinhood?
Well, that's a great question.
Hmm.
And it leads to a much bigger conversation about how the whole investing landscape is changing.
Oh, interesting. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Let's get into it. What stood out to you so far? Robinhood's story, it's not just about one company's success. It's
What do you mean?
it reflects how the whole approach to investing is changing.
Okay.
We're seeing a move towards more accessibility, making things more user-friendly, more of a DIY mindset when it comes to managing money.
So you're saying Robinhood is making investing less, I don't know, intimidating.
Exactly.
Like it's not just for Wall Street anymore.
It's breaking down those barriers,
Yeah.
Things that kept people from getting into the markets. High fees, all the complex jargon, just lack of knowledge in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Think about it. They offer fractional shares.
Oh, yeah.
So you can buy a tiny piece of a company's stock,
Right.
even if you don't have tons of money to invest.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Opens up a lot of possibilities for people just starting out.
Definitely. And then that 3% IRA match.
Right.
That's huge for people who want to start saving for retirement.
Especially for those who maybe don't have a 401k through work.
Totally.
It's such a smart move,
Yeah.
It brings in new customers, but it also encourages good financial habits.
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're here to help you grow your wealth.
No matter where you're starting.
Exactly.
So it's not just about making money.
No.
It's about giving people control over their financial futures.
Empowering people.
Yeah, they're democratizing investing.
That's at the core of their mission.
And their Q3 results, I
Yeah.
mean, they suggest they're really making progress.
They are.
But, of course, no
Yes.
company's perfect.
Right. There's always challenges.
What do you see on the horizon for Robinhood? What obstacles?
Well, the competition is fierce out there.
Yeah.
In the fintech space, new players are always popping up.
Sure.
And the established companies, they're not standing still. They're innovating all the time. Can Robinhood keep up?
Yeah. Can they stay ahead of the curve?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
They need to keep pushing boundaries, offer new features, new products, set themselves apart.
Oh.
And then there's the regulatory landscape.
Oh, yeah.
always changing, especially in finance.
Right.
And we can't forget about the market itself.
Right.
Volatility can really shake things up.
Even for the most successful companies.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about growth.
Nope.
It's about sustainability, too.
Can they weather the storm?
Yeah. Can they build a platform that's both innovative and reliable?
It's a tough balance.
Totally. And that's why diversifying is so important.
Absolutely.
Expanding beyond trading into retirement planning, cash management, even a debit card.
Makes them less reliant on just one thing.
Exactly. More resilient to those market swings.
It's like building a stronger foundation.
Yeah. So we talked about the good, the bad, and the uncertain.
We did.
There were some things that really stood out to me.
Like what?
First, that Robinhood Legend platform. It seems like a total game changer for active traders.
What makes it so special?
Well, imagine this.
Okay.
A really sleek, intuitive platform designed for high-volume trading.
Okay.
It gives you advanced charting tools,
Nice.
real-time data, even integrated social features.
Social features?
Yeah, so traders can connect, share insights.
Interesting, like a social network for investors.
Yeah, so they're not just giving you tools.
No.
They're building a whole community.
Makes sense.
It's smart.
It really does. Enhances the experience.
Makes trading more interactive, more dynamic.
Exactly.
Now, the other thing that caught my eye was the Robinhood Gold Card.
Oh, yeah, the cash back.
3% cash back is pretty generous.
It is, especially these days.
What do you think the strategy is there?
I think it's a really smart way to attract a broader range of customers,
Okay.
people who want more than just trading. They're creating this one-stop shop for all things personal finance.
I see.
Manage your investments, spending, rewards, all in one place.
Yeah, all within the Robinhood ecosystem.
Right.
So it's about convenience, integration,
Making it easy to manage your money.
holistically.
Exactly.
Do you think this is a trend we're going to see more of?
Absolutely.
In the financial industry, I mean?
Yeah, these comprehensive platforms.
Okay.
Catering to all sorts of financial needs.
What do people want?
They want simplicity.
Mm,
They want it all in one place.
Yeah.
And it needs to be easy to use.
makes sense.
Robinhood is tapping into that,
Right.
offering all these different products that grow with their customers.
So we've talked about Robinhood's Q3 results
Yeah, some pretty impressive numbers.
and how they fit into these bigger trends in finance.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
But let's step back for a second.
Okay,
Big picture time.
I like it.
What does all this tell us about the future of investing?
Well, I think it's a really exciting time to be an investor.
Yeah.
Technology is giving people so much control
Hmm.
over their financial futures, I mean.
In a way that wasn't possible before.
Right, like even just a few years ago.
So are we moving away from that old model?
The old model.
Yeah, where you relied on financial advisors.
Yeah, that old school way.
Are we going more DIY?
I think that's the trend we're seeing.
And Robinhood's leading the way.
They're definitely at the forefront.
Providing the tools and knowledge people need.
Exactly, to make informed decisions.
Make investing more accessible, more understandable.
That's the key.
But with all this power comes responsibility.
Right, of course.
We have to educate ourselves.
Yeah,
Understand the risks.
for sure.
Make wise choices.
Couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to money.
Right.
And that's something Robinhood emphasizes
How so?
through all those educational resources,
Huh.
their user-friendly interface.
Yeah, they're not just simplifying investing.
No, they're encouraging people to learn.
Become more financially literate.
Exactly.
It's a tough balance, though.
What is?
Making investing accessible, but also making sure people are making responsible decisions.
Right.
Do you think they're doing a good job?
I think they're learning and adapting as they go.
Mm-hmm.
But their commitment to innovation and education, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a really positive sign.
So we've talked about Robinhood's great Q3
We have.
and all the trends that are shaping the future of investing.
It's a lot to think about.
What's your final takeaway?
What should our listeners be thinking about?
Yeah, as they're thinking about their own investment journey.
That's a good question. You know, I think Robinhood's story really shows us something important. It's not just about, like, picking hot stocks or chasing trends. It's about really understanding your financial goals, knowing how much risk you're comfortable with,
Right.
and building a strategy that, fits your values.
So it's about a personalized approach,
Exactly.
figuring out what works for you,
Yeah. Not just following the crowd.
not trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Right, because there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Sure.
And I think Robinhood's platform, with all its different offerings and those educational resources,
Yeah.
it gives people a way to explore, find their own path.
And that brings us back to their Q3 results. We talked about their focus on active traders.
Right.
All these new products they're launching.
Yeah.
Do you think they're on track to become like the platform
The platform.
for the next generation of, sophisticated investors?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah,
They've definitely shaken things up,
for sure.
changed how the industry works, brought in a whole new wave of investors. But to really win over those sophisticated investors,
Yeah.
it takes more than just being innovative. It takes trust,
Trust.
reliability, a proven track record.
So they need to show that they're here to stay.
Exactly.
They're not just, a fad.
Right.
They can handle the complexity.
The complexity of serious investing.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to keep expanding what they offer, give people even more advanced tools and features.
Right.
But they also need to show they're committed to security, regulatory compliance, long-term stability.
So it's about balancing. Like
Balancing what?
being cutting edge, but also being trustworthy.
Yeah, appealing to both the new and the experienced investors.
It's a tricky balance.
It is. It's a tightrope walk.
And their success depends on how well they do it.
It really does.
Well, their Q3 earnings definitely gave us a lot to think about.
A lot to digest.
It's a fascinating story,
Well, it is.
Innovation, disruption, how finance is changing.
It is. It's a really interesting case study.
And I encourage everyone listening to dive into those source documents.
They've linked them for you.
Explore the data, think about the different viewpoints.
Form your own opinions.
Exactly. About where Robinhood's headed.
Exactly.
And that wraps up our deep dive into Robinhood's Q3 2024 earnings.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We hope this got you thinking.
Got you curious.
Gave you some valuable insights.
Maybe even inspired you a little.
Yeah, to take a closer look at your own investments.
Because the world of finance, it's always changing.
Always.
And we all need to stay informed.
Right.
Stay engaged. Stay empowered.
Make the best decisions for our money.
Exactly.
We'll be back soon with more deep dives.
More deep dives into the topics that matter.
The things shaping the world around us.
Absolutely.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring.
And keep diving deep.
See ya.